Debe ebekaho edi ahoto abrega na fuonyina.
You heard that from MPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. What he's been saying is that as we prepare to go to the polls, we should remember that God is the ultimate kingmaker, and in all we do, we must put him at first. There are things beyond human control, but with God's power, all things are possible. Or he says that the Bible reminds us that his ways are not our ways, and sometimes we may not understand his plans, but just as God used Cyrus to help the Israelites, he believes that he has been used to bless the people of Ghana, and he called for prayers because he knows that God listens to us. Away from the camp of the NPP, the vice presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has called on traditional queen mothers in the central region to back the NDC's vision of a reset in Ghana. Well, during an interaction with the queen mothers, Professor Opoku-Agyeman urged them to support the NDC's bid to lead the country.
As market women, we need loans to sustain our work, but sometimes securing these loans become a major challenge. The market is where we spend most of our time as women. If not for the NDC that built the Kejetia market, which government would have done it? Ghanaian women are hardworking, but the necessary support is lacking. I am here to plead with you to support the NDC.
As vice presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Now, the Food and Drugs Authority has expressed openness to an audit by local or international bodies into its operations. While the authority has faced public backlash following a recent report about the alleged distribution of some 22,000 bags of repackaged expired rice to senior high schools across the country. While addressing a news conference in Accra, Chief Executive Officer of the FDA, Delise Mimi Dakon, reiterated the authority's commitment to enforce the adherence to food safety.
The FDA follows international best practices for food safety, including use-by dates, which indicates safety, and foods must not be consumed past a use-by date. Expiry date, which indicates both safety and quality. Expired products are unsafe and should be disposed of. Best before end date. This relates to quality and not safety. Foods may lose their flavor or texture, but remain safe if stored correctly. The authority, like other authorities globally, may use accepted regulatory extensions of best before dates following rigorous testing and compliance with storage requirements, and this is in line with international best practices. The FDA also wishes to assure the public that it confirmed the wholesomeness of the consignment of rice in question and gives assurance that with all the other certificates that were submitted from India, from PPRSD, from CSIR-FRI, and concluded that the rice was wholesome before it was released for distribution. The authority wishes to reiterate the fact that it is committed to ensuring the safety and quality of all products, including food on the market. And in this regard, it has carried out several safe disposal of consignments of food, including rice, whose safety and quality could not be assured or guaranteed. The FDA's reputation for excellence is backed by ISO certification and the largest ISO accredited laboratory scope in Africa. The FDA also tirelessly followed up on the long dormant National Food Safety Policy, ensuring its successful launch. It also acts as a secretariat for the National Food Safety Emergency Response Plan. The authority operates with independence, transparency, and professionalism. To address any public concerns, the FDA is open to audits by qualified local or international bodies to validate all its actions. I'll repeat, the FDA is open to audits by qualified local, or international bodies to validate its actions. We remain steadfast in our commitment to ensuring food safety and protecting public health.
You heard that from Chief Executive Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, Delise Mimi Dako.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+.
The free SHS program to make it work.
How will that be done?
The double track.
movement to all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News with me, Akusia. The details now. The Public Procurement Authority has secured a $250,000 funding from the World Bank to assess Ghana's public procurement systems. For the authority will be using the methodology for assessing these systems to evaluate the strengths, weaknesses, and gaps in the system over a 6-month period. Or CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, Frank Mante, at the launch, urged cooperation from public institutions.
Once these assessments are conducted, the report is shared with the MAP Secretariat, as with OECD. They will then look at it and validate it. Under our Act, Section 3 of the Procurement Act provides that the PPA itself conducts annual assessments. And this annual assessment, the results are shared with the Ministry of Finance and Parliament, showing how our procurement system is working. But the maps will be totally different. PPA will not have any role to play there. We have external assessors who will come in. Not necessarily to PPA's office, but to all public institutions to conduct this. So I want to use this opportunity that once the MAPS assessment starts, public institutions should cooperate with the assessors. Because the bottom line is that it's going to help us improve our procurement system. Ghana, we are not doing that bad because Ghana, we started our procurement regime before other African countries. We've actually taken the lead in a number of activities, including the electronic procurement that I said.
That was CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, Frank Mante. Meanwhile, the Senior Procurement Specialist and a Procurement Hub Coordinator for Ghana, Liberia and Sierra Leone at the World Bank, Lena Tutunji, explained that the World Bank's support is to enhance efficient public procurement systems.
We acknowledge that the public procurement systems provides the opportunities for the private sector companies to do business, and in turn these companies, they provide opportunities for job creation. Also an accountable public procurement system contributes to the efficient use of the scarce public money to achieve best value for money.
That was Lena Tutunji, Senior Procurement Specialist and Procurement Hub Coordinator for Ghana, Liberia and Sierra Leone at the World Bank. Now, the Tax Justice Network Africa has cited illicit financial flows as a key factor contributing to the depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi in recent months. Well, these outflows, according to the network, are depleting critical economic resources and undermining the stability of the local currency. Isaac Danso-Ejiri has been speaking to Citi Business News.
Illicit financial flows, again, is monies that leave the country usually through illicit or illegal, channels, right? And you will notice, for example, there was some work that was done at the customs, right? That realized, I think, between 2013 and 2016, there was some 1.8 billion US dollars that went out of the system, were sent out of the country without any corresponding goods coming into the country. So these were monies that were taken away from the country. And you notice that the exchange rate is really a function of demand and supply for dollars. And as a country, we don't make dollars, right? It's not our currency. And so how we get dollars, which is the pool of dollars that we have as a country, usually come from our exports.
You heard that from Isaac Danso-Ejiri, Policy and Research Manager at the Tax Justice Network Africa. Now, the meeting between disgruntled workers of the Produce Buying Company, PBC, the company's management and the National Labour Commission ended inconclusively. Monday's discussion was to resolve grievances over unpaid salaries. Well, the workers are now planning to engage a private legal counsel as recommended by the Labour Commission. On speaking to Citi Business News after the meeting, Vice President of the Workers' Union, Seth Idusei, said the workers will continue to push for action.
What they are trying to say is that this time, since the first sitting, the issue is beyond them. They have to refer to the Commission again, and this time their lawyers themselves will come and sit over the issue. That they have to write to us and schedule a time as to when that sitting will be done. But if we think that is going to take a long time, because They were not able to tell us exactly when, but we should wait for them to write to us first. But if we think it is going to be a long process, then we can also allow a private lawyers from their own, that is from the same commission, but this time it is more or less a private lawyer.
Vice President of the Disgruntled Workers of the Produce Buying Company PBC, Seth Eduse. Now, the Institute of Energy Security has criticized the government for mismanaging resources and opportunities inherited in the power sector in 2017. According to IES, the ongoing power crisis could have been averted had the government taken proactive measures to restore investor confidence, stabilize the sector, and protect Ghana's economic growth. There's more in this news desk report by Nashika Caesar.
The Institute of Energy Securities, IES, pointed out that the power sector, which has been on a path to recovery and growth, has suffered significant setbacks. The sector, crucial to driving the nation's economy and improving the lives of citizens, is now plagued by operational and financial inefficiencies, mounting debts, mismanagement, diminishing public confidence, and questionable decisions. The Institute highlighted that Ghana's installed generation capacity stood at 4,599 megawatts in 2016, with a dependable capacity of 4,127 megawatts, meeting a peak demand of 2,078 megawatts in December 2016. Although capacity had increased to 5,639 megawatts by the end of 2023, the growth in demand to 3,618 megawatts had been accompanied by significant power generation deficits and frequent power outages, revealing inefficiencies in capacity utilization and planning. The IES also pointed out that the Energy Sector Recovery Levy, ESLA, introduced in 2016, generates about $650 million annually to clear legacy debt and stabilize the sector. However, the proceeds have been misapplied through collateralization, leaving the sector burdened with over $2 billion in debt after 8 years, raising concerns about accountability and the justification for collateralizing these funds. The Institute recommended adherence to the cash waterfall mechanism, which ensures equitable revenue distribution across the power sector's value chain. The IES believes that proper implementation of the cash waterfall mechanism would alleviate financial bottlenecks, particularly for upstream suppliers and transmission operators.
Nashika Caesar of the Citi Business Desk brought us that report. Wrapping up the Tuesday edition of the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News with me, Akosia Orchid. Do stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.